Hey guys, hey guys, honestly, it's been a while. I wanted to go live at 8 p.m., but I realized that I will have something important to attend to, and I don't want to miss, I don't want to fail on my promise. So here I am. So, guys, first of all, I like to apologize. I say that I'll be consistent this year. Okay, the year started with a lot of ups and downs, me falling sick, and everything that has been going on. Okay, I'm not happy about it as well. So first of all, I like to apologize for that because the inconsistency, yeah, has been so significant, and I'm disappointed in myself as well. But we're gonna work on that. So secondly, for the last 2 3 weeks, I've been so inconsistent, so inconsistent. I've literally been on and off, on and off. Yeah, because I was moving to a new place, and there was so much going on. I have so much that I've been doing all at the same time, and I've been feeling overwhelmed, to be honest. And yeah, I just couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't. But I'm back. I'm back. I'm back for real. Like for real this time. We're going to be consistent. We're going to be super consistent this time. Like I had to move from the other apartment. I think I already explained that. I had to move from the other apartment. It had some issues with the electricity, and I think I was paying too much for electricity, and I was always staying on toes. Like I was always worried that I'm gonna run out of tokens and I'm gonna be in the dark. I'm gonna be have a blackout anytime. I used to be so much on toes. I used to pay for electricity so much that I felt like I ran a company inside my house. I know how exaggerated that is, but yeah, it felt so awful. Like I felt like I'm being misused. And the worst part is that I was complaining to the caretaker or the one that was in charge of those properties, and he seemed reluctant about it. He seemed like he acted like he didn't care, and of course, I wasn't happy about that. He acted like he didn't care. He told me I'm using a lot of electricity, and I don't even have a lot of electronics in my house. I don't use them. I'm never in the house. Um, Only in the house in the evening and maybe during the weekend. And I actually realized I'm using a lot of tokens when I went home in December because I was away for a week, a week plus, and I came back and my tokens, four of my tokens were gone. So I was like, okay, so who was actually using this electricity? And I suspected for a very long time that I was using it probably with someone else in the apartment, or I was paying for the security lights and the electric fans and everything and all the security systems in the apartment. And I feel like that is really unfair because it's just unfair. That is like misusing me. Because if you're supposed to pay, if maybe you were supposed to pay for those services, then maybe it was supposed to be, subdivided among the tenants or something. I don't know. But I don't even think we're supposed to pay for that because we pay for our rent anyway. That should be enough to cover such costs. Something else that happened is that the land the caretaker, whoever is in charge of those apartments, decided that they're gonna raise the rent when the year was beginning, and I just felt like this was not part of the contract. Like we didn't agree on this. You didn't tell me we're gonna be doing this, so I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. But anyway, I'm happy I found an apartment in time. I moved out in time. I also, oh my god, guys, can I tell you the story of what actually happened? So I told this guy in March, in which we are in April. Yeah, I told him in February, towards the end of February. I told this guy, I know that I'm not using this electricity alone. I am very sure that I'm not using this electricity alone because I am paying for so much. I have lived in different apartments before, and I have never had my electricity bill running like this, like the way it's doing this time. I'm literally on toes. I'm always checking if I have tokens enough to run me the next day, and that is not fair. That is not fair at all. I was not gonna take that fairly. But this guy just had a casual attitude, like, no, that's how it is. The electricity prices went up and over and blah blah blah. You cannot expect to be paying the same amount of money. I'm like, man, this is not the first apartment I actually lived in. So I told him, if you're not gonna take care of this electricity bill issue, then I'll utilize my deposit in March. We were in February. I utilized my deposit in March, then I'll leave the house. I'll vacate the apartment by the end of March. And this guy, I wrote that in a message, and this guy just replied, okay, that's fine. So I was like, okay, so I should start looking for apartments because next month I'll be moving out. So we get to March. Usually we're supposed to pay our rent by 5th. We get to March, and by 5th, he's calling me. He is asking for rent. And I'm like, what? I told you I'm going to utilize my deposit this month because I'm moving out. And he's like, no, let us just solve the electricity issue. I'm like, okay, okay. So you're waiting for me to say that I'm leaving for you to be able to solve the electricity issue. But I was like, okay, fine. Let me give him a chance to actually solve this issue. You know what he did? He sent someone to take the meter, the token meter, that stuff that you used to key in your tokens once you buy them. He sent someone to take that meter, whatever it's called, that stuff. You know it, Kenyans. If you know, you know. So he sent someone to take that meter. He told me he's gonna disconnect it from my apartment, and he's gonna connect me to the security lights. It's a security systems meter. Then he's gonna connect that token meter, whatever token number, to another empty apartment and observe if it's gonna reduce. And I'm like, okay, all right, interesting. Interesting, right? Yeah, that was the most interesting solution I've had in a long time. So I was like, okay, fine. So he took it, and he was supposed to observe it for like 3-4 days or a week and return it. So a week went by, and the thing was not returned. Then he calls me and tells me that now that you complain that you are paying a lot of electricity, we've taken the meter, so you'll add to your rent a certain amount of money. The one that you say you're supposed to be paying for electricity every month, you'll be adding it to your rent. Then you'll not be paying for electricity because you'll be using the meter from like the security and all that. And I was like, okay, so it seems I was actually paying for this thing. No one had a budget for it. Then I'm like, no, I had already paid tokens. I had already bought tokens in that meter before you took it away. So there's no way you're making me pay for it again now, you know. That's quite unfair. I've already been paying too much for electricity, then you want to make me pay for it again? Definitely never going to go like that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm still going to utilize my deposit. Yeah, I'm moving out at the end of the month. So he kept calling me and telling me, just pay rent, we've already sorted the electricity issue and all that. And I'm like, no, I've already made up my mind. I don't like it when caretakers or landlords just want to solve your issues when it's beneficial to them. Like they feel the need to solve your issues when it's beneficial to them. Like only when he needs his rent, then he realizes that he should solve my electricity issue so that I can pay his rent. And that, I feel like that is not fair. That is being, like, I felt neglected. I felt like he didn't care. I felt like I didn't matter. My problems didn't matter to him. It's my money that meant something to him, and that was pretty much unfair. That was so unfair. So yeah, I found this apartment that I'm in right now. I already had a tour of it in the channel. So I found this apartment that I'm in right now, and it's now time to move in, and I was supposed to move in during the Easter holiday. So he asked me, when I'm moving out? I told him I'm moving out during the Easter holiday. And he told me when you're moving into your apartment, we painted the walls white at your request. And you said, apparently, he meant that I said that when I'm moving out, I will repaint the walls back to cream. And I was like, what? Me? Repaint the walls? I mean, you guys. And the apartment owners and caretakers and all that, are they not supposed to freshly paint a house once a tenant leaves so that the other one can find it freshly painted? Because they always make it seem like it's our responsibility, like maintaining the house is our responsibility. Like, how do you expect me to live in an apartment for like a year and the walls remain the same? Like, it's your responsibility to make sure that you refresh the paint for a new tenant to come in. So how can you tell me that now I'm supposed to repaint the walls cream before I leave? First of all, you made me pay for a lot of electricity that no one is paying me back, okay? So I was like, what? Me? Said? No, that's not happening. If you didn't want to paint the walls white, you should have said. You should have said, I can't paint the walls white, and I'll be like, fine. I'll decide whether I want to move in or not. But you didn't say that. Okay? You should, I feel like you should lay down all your conditions when someone is moving in so that they decide whether they can live up to those conditions or not. They decide to take the apartment or not. It's quite unfair for you to let someone get into your apartment, then you come up with conditions later and you expect them to follow them, because that's very unfair. I feel like that's a very unfair situation to put someone into, honestly. It's not fair. It's not, and it's not even a comfortable situation. It's not a good situation. Anyways, that's how we ended things. So I moved out. I'm now in a new place. I'm always moving, right? Yeah, I'm now in a new place. I've settled in. It's been a long process because I decided to move bit by bit this time, and it was quite tiring. I didn't move it all at once. It was quite tiring, not as I expected. It took quite a toll on me. I was so tired. For like the past 1 week, I've just been feeling so fatigued. But I'm okay now. So today I was supposed to go live at 8, but I'm not even in the best position to do so. I mean, health-wise, I'm not feeling so well, but I am here and I've kept my promise. So guys, you'll be seeing me more often. I'll try to go live more often, doing activities. We're gonna cook. Today I'm not feeling so well, but we're gonna be cooking in our live sessions every weekend. I'm gonna try to go live every weekend, either on a Saturday or a Sunday. In the kitchen we chat and we cook. Okay? So yeah guys, that was it. That was the update that I had, because I don't want you guys to feel like what's going on. So that's the update that I had, and I'm glad that I got to speak it out so we can start afresh. Okay, so bye for now. See you in my next video on, yeah, see you when you see me. Bye.